under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, motion.
And I'd second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yeah, discuss and approve resolution for transferring of funds, inter-fund transfer.
Board meeting's right in here. If you need a restroom, restrooms are simply the next set of doors down to your right. Thank you.
Morning. Come on in. Grab a chair. There's chairs here, back here. How are you guys? Good to see you. Hello, Mark. Hey, Mark. Mark, would you mind pulling that door shut? It's a little noisy in the hall. Thank you.
Two different resolutions.
I get it, yeah. One's for 260 and the other's 273,992, and $3,153,000.
So probably hold two different resolutions.
That's fine.
Okay.
The resolution, well, both resolution numbers you want to do.
Do you want to do it with just keep them on the station?
Make it one motion since they're the same resolution.
Need a two different resolution numbers though? Or are they the same?
They're the same.
There's one.
Make the motion that we approve resolutions to transfer funds and inter-fund transfers.
My resolution. Yep, my resolution.
Primer, aye.
Team and I. Well, recorded.
Yeah, don't have it.
Either.
How about you, Tracy?
Had Easy Cog Thursday, about the extent of it, I did actually show up, and one or two people show up. We bankrolled over $1.5 million of loans for businesses. So,
Last year.
just Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I didn't know you had that kind of funds to work with.
we had them till, it had to been spent by the end of the month.
Okay.
So, because of nothing in Benton County, which was a shame,
Maybe we need to have that a little more publicized, what's available.
but yeah,
So, I wouldn't be opposed if there was even something put out there in an ad or or something of that nature as to what is fixed. It'd be nice if that county residents could take advantage of. Because those are low interest loans,
Yes.
perhaps even in some cases zero.
Yeah, it starts off the first year, it's 0 interest, and from then on, it goes to 2%, and the loans are anywhere from 3 years to 7 years long.
Well, I sure can't borrow money for 2%. Or zero.
And 100% payback, and the first year, majority of them first year, no payments until the 13th month starts.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be nice to,
Yeah.
be nice to get that a little more publicity for Benton County residents. I know I've talked to Tracy Leasing about some housing,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they always say it's on the website, you can look at it, the website's quite big,
it'd be intimidating.
and then, yes, then, you know, to me, I mean, they deal with anywhere from loan money to housing, and then also, they're kind of like handicapped, and, if somebody's got birth trouble or a leaky roof.
Exactly.
It's wide.
Many years ago, I was on the city council.
You don't have a Jesse's car.
Had a program that they would rehab housing for what turned out to be the elderly people. They would replace furnaces, they would take wiring, they would insulate the house, and there's some computer around it. And that would be really good for people to know with the rising cost of energy. So you get a more energy efficient furnace.
Good installation too.
The installation, which I mentioned, you know, I mean, that just, yeah, we really need to get that a little better known. So, and I think some of that stuff was basically grants when it comes to the housing part, rehab. So, is there a way to acquire a list
What they do,
of that type of thing?
I could check with them.
Okay. Other than go to the website.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I could see,
You know, when you come to Eagle, you got how many different departments, you know, you got the transportation department, you got 2 people that take care of that, which we get our buses, the funding for. And I guess that's some of the problem right now with buses that they had ordered, they all got canceled, or a lot of them got canceled because, you know, the prices that was agreed on, now all of a sudden the buses went up 40,000,
I could believe
so they canceled the order. So there's a lot of counties that we're sitting good, we got all new, fairly new equipment here.
And I think he's got one that he's trying to replace.
Yeah,
Last time I knew that was still coming.
so it was a fairly long meeting, you know what I mean?
Good.
But,
Yeah, my meeting started this week. Cycles. He must have read my mind, let's see if he can pass out some information.
good morning, Mark.
Hello, sir. Perfect. Thank you.
That good.
Not that good. See you, Ben. see this one where it's at. I do.
I'll send you out the stuff on
That would be great.
that. Man,
Okay, thank you.
you can join the.
I might be able to, and it depends on the appointments.
I'm having mine working because it's on the third
Mhm.
level. I want Myron to
Give input.
what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah. Semis and dirt roads don't work.
No.
Well, I mean, sometimes it sounds good.
Sometimes. Be a little close to her.
Staying fast.
I don't think they hit you.
Okay, Mark.
I've given you guys a copy of an application from Steve Jr. and Emma Henry of Garrison. They're proposing a new non-ag use on a parcel that they own. It's 3.26 acres, located at 5375 22nd Avenue, Mount Auburn. It's just southeast of town. You can see with the property listing that we've attached here, basically, where that parcel is. It's located on the west side of 22nd Avenue, approximately 3/4 of a mile south of 53rd Street, southwest of Mount Auburn. It's in section 248611 for Cedar Township. The Henrys have applied for this application because they'd like to move a house onto the parcel. And you can see by the attached site sketch where they would like to do that. The site that's under review here is not in production. It's an old farmstead. It was formerly owned by Ed and William McGivern, EJN Farms. CSR here is not relevant on this site at all because it's not been in production, isn't in production. There's an existing driveway. Randy looked at it, reports that it meets all the criteria that the county has as far as our driveway policy. There's a well on the property. there is an existing well on the property. The house will need a new
Hello.
septic system.
Somebody there?
Hello, my name, yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? Oh, okay, great. So my name is Angie, Carter, and I work at ASAC. I was, planning on attending the supervisors meeting today, but I don't see a link on there. I just see the YouTube live.
Okay.
Is there a separate link?
No, there isn't.
Is-
You'd have to do it by
Okay.
phone. Just like you're doing right now, if you're not gonna attend.
Okay. I see, okay. So what number should I call then?
You can call this number again, but on your time, the item would be at, 9:50.
9:50?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yep, bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry, Mark.
Not a problem. There's an existing well there that's going to be utilized, and they will need a new septic system for the new home there. Basically, as far as the septic system goes, I don't see any issue with doing that. It's just gonna be a matter of, we need to get on the site, find out what it is that we're gonna do. Steve told me that they're gonna work with Justin Hendricks on that, and so we'll be meeting out there here one of these days, fairly soon. The overall land use pattern of this area is predominantly row crop, some rural residences. Steve and Cheryl live just nearby, basically. It's a,
Scott and Cheryl.
I'm sorry?
Scott and Cheryl.
Scott, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Steve, Scott and Cheryl, thank you. Basically, Mount Auburn is just to the northwest, and the only other non-farm use is Pat and Cedar River access, which is approximately half mile to the southeast. We notified 3 adjacent property owners of the request, and of course, we placed legal notices in the newspapers of Benton County as we're required to do. We received no comments prior to today's hearing about this use. Basically the reestablishment of an old farmstead, and something that, in respect to our land use ordinance and plan, we've always encouraged. Any questions?
Make a motion that this be approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I bet he wishes moving the house would be that easy. Is it? All said and done. Got the approval.
Thank you, and have a good
It's
day.
good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Sorry, Scott. Hope to see
No
you.
problem.
It's all in family, Mark, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yes. That's the worst I do today, we'll have a day.
Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Give an application, and then I also give them, there's a.
That's clay. Yeah. They're still the built ponds and things. That's about it. Yeah, it's good for deer hunting. A lot of deer.
We've got time set, so can't do anything for a couple minutes.
I understand. That's how it works. I get it. How are they coming on the new Dollar General down there in Belle Plaine? Is it coming along pretty good? And I haven't been by there since they started doing the dirt work. I don't know.
That's what's going in there, huh?
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
We don't go that way since 30's closed, our road.
Sure, sure.
We just been going north.
Haven't been by there for probably 2 weeks, but wow.
That'd be nice.
Since the popping up everywhere.
Yes, they are.
Atkins is getting one too.
Yeah, they pulled one in Fairfax too, just recently.
Between Dollar Generals and Casey's, they pop up everywhere.
I think Dollar General or Walmart.
But that's. I haven't been to Walmart. We was talking about that the other day. I haven't been there for as long as I can remember. Just we go up here and go to Fairway, you know, or we go to Dollar General and Kaiser, or Belle Plaine, you know, it's really close. 30, and now it's kind of a pain, so we go north. But it'd be nice when they get it done. You go to Keystone Line. That's a neat little town.
And Blairstown, because my parents live
Yeah.
in North English.
Yeah, we drive through Blairstown.
That's how we get down there now. Or Maria.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
They're gonna close that road pretty soon for 30.
Are
They're
they?
gonna redo the road, so hopefully get the railroad crossing east of Blairstown fixed before they close it.
So how are we gonna go out there?
They're gonna open up the Luzerne corner,
Oh, okay.
Okay,
and then they'll close Blairstown
okay.
Okay.
I was-
corner.
So we have to go further towards
No.
the Rapids, or?
Now, they'll open down that close down.
Okay.
Good. But now I know my way to Blairstown, so I'll have to learn something there. I kinda like the drive, actually. so
Changing was with that, was changing.
it's easy.
Travel line done yet?
No,
Okay.
no, like.
Yeah, that road would be nice, but boy, the detours are a pain. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
If we go what? Because I can't hear anything.
Speak up, Gary. He said the detours are a pain, but it's gonna be nice when it's done.
Yeah, oh, yes,
We'll love it.
yes.
We'll love it.
I got 200 acres up north, and I'm thinking it's all corn. And this fall, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go clear the Blairstown and back around and up. It's gonna be a pain.
You harvest that all yourself, plant it and everything?
My son helps me.
Your son helps you? You got tractor equipment back and forth, or do you have some up there already?
You know, we bring everything back and
Yeah.
forth, not very far. If the roads are open, it's only like 10 miles.
Oh,
I can figure it out. We got
you probably know all the back ways.
Well, it's dirt north of our house and northwest of our house, so we try and move all the equipment whenever
Yeah,
we can.
yeah.
Then we get these guys that take those roads for fun.
Oh, yeah. You gotta have the
And
school
run
kids and
and
like,
run them all up and everything.
Oh,
yeah, they have the same problem where we came from. Yeah. How many dirt roads do you have up around here? Very many of them?
there isn't as many, I don't think there's as many up here as there is at the southern end of the county, because we're further away from the gravel.
Right.
There's 100 miles in that town.
I thought there was quite a bit more.
200? Either 100 or 200, I don't remember now.
Yeah, I with their statement, I thought it was pretty extensive.
The worst part of it is, they had the road that goes east and west, a mile south of 30. They had that all upgraded to make it gravel. Oh, it was in the 70s. And then they didn't do it. And then we raised seed corn for years and years and years. And they would take it when it was muddy.
Right.
And they laid a telephone cable down the road. And that's all washed out now.
Really?
It don't take much. Between the people that are taking it when they're not supposed to,
Yeah, yeah,
and the rain,
yeah. Well, that's, I mean, you guys have beautiful black dirt up here down home where we come from. It's pretty much all clay, so it's not a lot of
yeah, this is,
washing out problems.
yeah, it's black, still black dirt.
That's one thing we noticed when we moved up here, how beautiful the dirt was.
I've given you guys a copy of an application that we received from Hensley Innovations LLC. This is that, from Danny Hensley, our supervisors, Tracy Seaman, Gary Gershank, Rick Hermer, and Courtney Longs, our acting auditor.
This site is at 6848 Highway 21, Elbron.
I think you can see with the attachments that we have that it's right here, just on the east side of Highway 21, just south of 68th Street. That's section 68312 or Kane Township. This application was submitted to you after the new non-ag use was commenced. But the folks were not aware that they needed to do that. What they wanted to do here is in an existing building, start an auto repair business or body shop. And once we saw it, we contacted them, let them know that they needed to go through this process and have your approval to be able to operate there. And they've been nothing but cooperative all the way through this process. We contacted them, they got right back with us, submitted an application, and so that's what you're looking at here today. There's an existing building there that they want to have a police collision center within. There isn't any ground coming out of production or anything else, they're just utilizing an existing building that they have there. So as far as CSR and whatnot, we have no issue there. As I said, no land's coming out of production. There is a driveway, a new driveway that was built under state permit from the DOT. It was applied for. It has actually a joint use The entrance permit says it is for farm/residential and occasional use for the automotive repair business. That driveway is in compliance with all the state regulations. As Jenny had explained to me in one of the emails that we have exchanged, they wanted that driveway there specifically so folks didn't have to come through the existing acreage. There's an asphalt top driveway there that exists and less wear and tear on that driveway. So they did apply for it, it was all duly done, and they had the state entrance permit. There's an existing well on the property. There's also an existing septic system for the residents that is conforming. Was just upgraded here a year or two ago. But as far as this particular use here, this building, they do not plan to have a bathroom in it, nor are they going to construct a septic system. As far as existing land uses in the area, it's pretty much essentially all farmland. There is an acreage that's located approximately 1,800 feet straight north of the building that's proposed for the shop. It's at the intersection of Highway 21 and 68th Street. There's no other like use like this in particular areas. Like I said, almost all farmland. We sent 3 adjacent property owner notices. We placed legal notices within the newspapers of Benton County, again, as required. We did not receive any responses from those notices prior to today's hearing. As far as this particular use goes, the application was made so that they could be in compliance, assuming that you would be in favor of the proposal. Again, they were extremely cooperative this whole time through, did everything that we asked. And so we don't have any issue with this as far as it being a use that's going to interfere with any farm operations, will allow them to be able to have this business within an existing building. Okay, do you have any questions?
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I won't do a happy dance today.
Thanks a lot.
It was nice to meet all of you.
Yes, nice to meet you all.
Well, it's good to hear you putting in a body shop. You know, they're getting fewer and farther in between.
We love it here.
Yeah, we do.
We said we're
We
dying
feel like
here.
we're home.
Good.
We grew up in Southwest Iowa.
We love it here.
Yeah, we do. We really love it here. Wish I'd moved here when I was a little kid. And my dad would own about 1,000 acres.
This says.
So how long have you folks owned that farm?
We just a year, June 1st.
You can copy this application.
We still own a farm in Southwest Iowa. That's kind of our retirement, so we just kept it. And then, we moved up here, my mom had major health issues. And we were constantly going back and forth, so we decided to move up here. Sold our second son, I'm trying to think, our second boy, our body shop in Bedford that we had for 30 years.
Yeah.
And we just built a new one up here, and we would have done this a long time ago. We didn't know we'd be this year, but he took over our business there, and so we're doing it again here.
My neighbor Jerry Tennant farms down southwest Iowa.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah?
where we're at?
It's south of, it's south of Omaha a little bit.
Okay.
So they down like Hamburg area?
Fremont Mills, Sydney, down in that area somewhere. Honestly, there's not much, it's shrinking.
We actually grew up in a little town called Bedford, which is
2 hours
it'd be 2 hours east of where you're talking.
south and east.
Yeah, southeast. We're right on the Iowa-Missouri line. You heard of Maryville, Missouri?
It's where I went to college.
Okay,
Our farm is 30 miles straight north.
yeah, straight north of there. where we grew up. And her parents lived in Williamsburg, that's how we,
North English.
North English student.
Dad works at Kenzie. He's a buyer there for Kenzie. Of course, farm, we're from farm families.
And we restore old houses too, and that's kind of how we ended up where we ended up.
I have to have an old house.
She found it on the internet after the storm. I said, well, it definitely needs to work. So that's how we ended up where we have a son, St. Anthony, and he does the floor coating, the epoxy floor coating and stuff. That's what he does. And then we have a daughter, Bonner Ann.
And my brother is a police officer in West Des Moines.
West Des Moines.
So we've got,
My sister lives in Newton, so kind of scattered around up here, it seems like. So we really, really like it up here. We've met nothing but awesome people. I haven't met one bad person yet. So we sure appreciate your time. Nice meeting everybody.
Thank you.
he talks a lot.
That's good.
Well,
Take care.
hope you continue to enjoy living up
Thank you.
Will you guys come visit?
Yeah.
there.
Thank you, Mark.
You're
It's nice
welcome.
to
By
meet
the shop sometime.
I could get some of these land use changes moved up a little bit, I guess. Nobody contests anything, they're kind of short. Have to see about making it a little shorter time period. This isn't gonna take very long either. I apologize for what very nice.
So can we omit or disregard the 9:45? Or do we actually have to have a public hearing?
No, we don't. The last time we had one like this, I just read the statement and then you basically made a motion to accept the withdrawal of the application.
So we have to wait for 9:45 to do that. So, okay, that's fine.
I suppose we better.
Sure. Thank you.
Your office been busy?
I've been kind of amazed actually, but I've been hearing from some contractors that some things are slowing, some builders, whatnot, but I don't think we've had quite as many parcels here just lately. Some activity there still, but for a while it seemed like about every day somebody was parceling something. It's been crazy.
I feel like building is slowing down just because of the cost.
Yeah,
Although some of that construction materials coming down in prices are crazy.
Yeah, I did see lumbers came down.
Not the pre-pandemic levels though, has it?
No. It's still,
Well, because of transportation costs, I'm sure it's just,
yeah.
it's a little bit of everything, actually.
Well, in fact, I was just opening up some of my mail this morning that I got last week, and that, for instance, like, Lynette's, Ford Smith, fuel surcharge. And they just threw a figure out there. They didn't go by the miles or nothing. It was just,
I suppose it's hard to throw a specific number out there though, with things jumping up and then go down.
I was kind of shocked at that.
well, we'll have to start stating, when they do quotes, there's gonna be plus fuel surcharge.
Gas is getting pretty big, they can do about what they want.
parking lot come from Shelford, so.
Well, it has to do with the contractor. That's nothing we did.
Correct.
So. In life, sometimes noses do get bent. Or broken.
Most of the notes, only name wasn't listed as US Bank up here.
From last week, you mean?
Yeah. That bank's really changing. I don't think they'll be around very long.
Might not be the best thing to talk about that at the moment. It's not on the agenda, sorry. I don't, comments just don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I noticed on our minutes that it's not listed as depository.
Close enough, Mark.
Okay. What we were supposed to be having was a,
Hello.
Hello, this is Angela. I just, I know I'm a little bit early, but you could just maybe leave me on speakerphone.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Give us a few minutes,
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
Sorry about that, Mark. Go ahead.
we were supposed to be having a land use hearing this morning for Amana Farms, for a property that's known as Two Joe's Farm. It's on Highway 30, just to the west of the intersection of 218 and 30. I've handed you a copy of a letter received from John McGrath, the general manager of Amana Farms. He states that we just learned that because of some reasons out of the buyers and our control, we will not be able to pursue the purchase of the Two Joe's property that we submitted a zoning change application for last week. This was dated Friday, June 10th. Basically, they withdrew their application on that site. He goes on to say, though, to be clear, though, we do want to continue the application for zoning change for the Steve and Scott Thompson property that we submitted earlier this week. That is on schedule for next Tuesday morning. And so I just wanted to enter for the record that they withdrew their request for this particular site known as Two Joe's Farm, and they are still on the docket for hearing next Tuesday.
You need a motion to accept
Please.
their request to withdraw this. That's my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Betcha.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of the meeting.
Well, Angie, I guess we could start a few minutes early, I guess, so.
Okay, you ready for me?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, great, thank you. So my name is Angie Harder, and I'm a prevention specialist at ASAC. And I do work in Benton County. We have another staff that works out there too. Her name is Ricky Hall. And I just wanted to give you guys some updates on the different grants that we worked on last year and what we'll be working on this coming fiscal year as well. So there are two different grants. The first one is our Tobacco Partnership Grant through the Iowa Department of Public Health. Last year we worked on building coalition and doing a workplace policy. So getting in touch with businesses and getting policies in place and also signage. And next year we're going to be working on something a little bit different. We're still going to continue to do our coalition building, but we're going to be working with youth a lot more. Our goal is to create an ISTEP group, which is a youth coordinated group. They coordinate it, they plan all the activities, and we're just kind of there to help them with some technical assistance along the way. So I guess the strategies that we'll be working on under the ISTEP group will be determined by the group once it's been formed. And the other grant that we work on is our Integrated Provider Network Grant. It's sometimes abbreviated as IPN. This is a grant that is also funded through the Iowa Department of Public Health. The IPN grant is for substances and for gambling. Last year we did we had several things going on. One of the biggest was our TIPS training. That it stands for Technical Intervention Procedures and Skills Training. And that is a training that is an evidence-based program designed for alcohol licensees, so those who obtain liquor licenses within the county and serve and sell alcohol. And the main goal of the TIPS program is to prevent the service of alcohol to minors or to prevent over-serving, so intoxication among adults. We also did some different problem gambling awareness campaigns. Problem gambling prevention is new not only to Benton County, but also across the state. So we really focused on getting some different information out there to the community in different ways. We did posters, we did a couple of commercial spots on YouTube, and some other informative ways of how gambling can become a problem. Next year, we're also going to be focusing on some different gambling campaigns. The one that we have chosen is called Be Number One at Getting Help. And this is designed for all adults across the board, ages 21 and older, but most particularly it's focused on adult males in the 20, 30, late 30 age range that gamble on sports betting. We also are going to next year be doing some campaigns on alcohol. One of them is Savor Every Moment, which is a campaign for women. And we're going to continue to do our responsible beverage server training, the TIPS training, with different licensees across the county. And then lastly, what we're going to be doing under ICANN is a program called Project Alert. This is an evidence-based program that we will be providing at the middle school and high school level. We'll be working with the guidance counselors at those respective schools to get the program going. And the goal of the program is to increase the perception of harm and hopefully reduce early initiation of tobacco and nicotine products. Particularly right now, a concern is going to be vaping. We are seeing a dramatic increase, but that's, across the state, not just in Benton County, that's something that we're seeing across the state. So working with those students to help increase the perception of harm and then reduce early initiation of tobacco products. And unless you guys have any questions for me, that's all I got for you.
Andy, are you going after, or not so much going after, e-cigarettes that I've been seeing a lot of youngsters using nowadays?
I think that's what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
absolutely. Yep, so e-cigarettes, your vaping devices, those are definitely the area that we're looking at when it comes to tobacco and nicotine. I think, and I'm glad you bring that up because we spent so many years and so many decades in prevention, changing the perception of harm when it comes to cigarettes. And if you were to walk into any middle school or high school and ask somebody if they smoke cigarettes, they would look at you cross-eyed because they know it's disgusting and gross and they would never do that. But what has taken place of it now has been those e-cigarettes, those vaping devices, and we are seeing a lot of youth, their first initiation with nicotine products being those vaping devices. And there are a lot of differences, I think, when you look at a traditional cigarette or chew tobacco versus vaping. And sometimes the research, isn't quite all there yet. This is still a relatively new product. If you look at, traditional cigarettes, it took us a very long time to understand some of the health complications that are associated with that. And we are at that point in time now with e-cigarettes, with vaping. We don't really understand what exposing your body to these chemicals will look like in 20 or 30 years. So while we're still waiting for that research to come out, there's a very low perception of harm. And I think sometimes teens or youth are easily swayed by, well, it's not nearly as bad as cigarette smoking or it's just vapor. But the reality is that there's a lot of nicotine in these e-cigarettes, and we are seeing youth consume massive amounts of nicotine, becoming addicted very quickly with vaping devices, much more so than we saw with cigarettes 30 or 40 years ago. So that is definitely where we are going to be focusing our education for youth. Absolutely.
Good.
Okay, well, thank you all. I appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Angie.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Lately, he comes in at 9:59. Last week, they said the food pantry, I think they said, served 80.
Really?
Once a week, but I mean, anywhere from 40 to 60 on average every Tuesday.
Before it was kind of slim because they had to come through this
Correct.
entrance.
People could not understand that.
Yeah.
But then last Tuesday, I had them move the backhoe and skid loader and come in this driveway and turn around and go back out that driveway. So the word got out. So they was busy.
And they see the garden has been providing fresh produce
Yeah.
to them.
So, yeah. There's an army out there again. So
Oh, it sure is.
Man, we didn't get over that.
All of our small towns, community garden.
Yeah, you know. Like most places, we have plenty of chiefs. Not the Indians to it.
Well, I think what helped this was it was an established produce area to begin with. So that helped.
We never really thought about it. A lot of people in town don't even have really decent place for a garden.
Or if they got, I guess in the way I can see it, in the way I can't. Our town, I know the people bought a house and I did not even know there was such an ordinance, you can't have garbage in front of your house.
All in the front yard.
Yeah. They have to go in front of the mayor and the council and ask permission
They have a house set on the lot.
they have a big house or a big lot, bare lot in front of the house. I mean, they do a tremendous job.
When you're talking, they have a beautiful garden.
Yep, they take care of it. I mean, it's a show, if there is one for a garden.
Lots and lots of work.
Outstanding.
A few decades ago, we used to garden.
I didn't even plant some. See, it's south of Benton, there's the Starter Castle.
Is it?
Yep.
Usually by the 4th of July, somebody's got sweet corn they're selling someplace. This year,
No,
No,
no.
Oh, it was cold early. Years ago, there was one time. I could have planted in February. We were using our corn furnaces. It just changed overnight, bang. I mean, I had corn bucketed up, never got used. I was bucketing it twice a week. It was cold early too, that's why there wasn't anything, even if it was planted, it wouldn't grow.
yeah, we didn't get much for spring weather, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
That
No.
chill and then,
what trade did you guys get?
Inch,
Really?
yeah,
is that how much?
that was spotty. That was spotty, I know I talked to a guy east of town there, 3 miles, he had a half inch. I get up here, you know, you guys didn't get nothing up here, the only place it was,
Compared to you?
yeah, I mean, you can see where it ran off the parking lot, I mean, west of the building here for the first 6 foot, and then nothing,
Sure.
you know.
What are you talking about? This was when?
Yesterday morning. Or were you sleeping again?
I don't think we had it. Oh, we had some yesterday morning.
Yeah, Bill Plains, the parade was postponed for an hour. They had a good rain down there.
And went down to Williamsburg last night and wasn't much engaged. Got hit last night up at, north of Dyersville,
Mm-hmm.
in there. I think they had severe thunderstorm warnings up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They had Channel 2 was on for probably 45 minutes.
Mhm.
I never got to see how the program come out.
Wasn't there some tornado warnings?
Yep. Yep,
I didn't catch where, but.
it was up on Rhode Island.
If we're gonna have something this afternoon with, it's gonna be hot today, it's supposed to cool down tonight.
Is it?
I just step out of the buildings right now and the glass is just fogged over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Get the block out.
Sorry, last one out has to hit the block.
Good way of keeping your attendance low.
That's right.
All done, Paul?
You're up to
Yes,
that.
sir. Bridge replacement that we've talked about maybe a couple times. 55th Street? West of Henry's Welding Shop. With changes with some of the federal funding, the SWAT program's about to go away.
Really?
As it's called, the way things are gonna get funded isn't gonna be a lot different from a county's perspective, but how it's handled through the DOT will need to change, just because there's more money coming in from the federal government than what was going on before. So we need to adjust how it's gonna be done. But, the old SWAT program, as I've talked to you before about 100% of being paid for, SWAT meaning, the state was taking all of the federal aid projects, giving the county the equal of that federal system. The county didn't have to treat a lot of their federal aid type projects fully like federal aid, even though there was some federal aid money. That project there that I'm talking about was, we got all the plans developed and approved earlier this year. That program will change the way we've done it after the calendar year ends. We still do it the same way, but I still have a DOT agreement for the county bridge federal aid swap funding that needs to be approved by the board and signed by the chair.
Motion that we approve that bridge project.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Date and signature. Fifth day of July.
Craig's gonna have 2 new bridges.
Sign everything in his house today. As I'm warning, we're still gonna get bridges pretty much funded 100% unless they're on the farm to market system. And then we're gonna pay 20% out of the farm to market accounts. 80% of it will be federal aid. But the ones off system moving forward will still be 100% paid for, partially through the bridge replacement funding that the county gets earmarked towards them each and every year, at 80%, and 20% is going to come out of kind of a SWAT type fund that the DOT has worked out an agreement with local systems. So funding wise, from what we're going to see, it's going to be about the same, but it's going to have different project numbers being handled differently through DOT. Utility permit.
I think we need to replace a lot of bridges. As long as this program is available.
Well, it's always been available type of deal, but when some of these new grants and programs that have just been implemented with the federal government, that means there's a lot more federal aid projects that the state's gonna be doing, and they can't, between what they're doing, just doing what they're doing, isn't gonna exceed what they needed to do. Everything they're doing is gonna meet what has to be done from the federal government before they could take on all of what the county system had, and it would equate to the old federal system that needed to be done in the state of Iowa. Now there's too much federal money to do it the same way. I wouldn't say too much money to get projects done, but too much to do the way business was being done in the past. Northern Natural Gas has requested a utility permit in Cedar Township, be on 54th Street. Actually, it'd be in section 28. Northern Natural Gas has a cross-country gas line that runs diagonally through Cedar Township. They are planning to put a rectifier and a ground bed on the south side of the road. From what I can see here, mainly putting some anodes, some ground wire into the 50-foot by 360-foot long area to, I think, help ground that pipeline. I don't anticipate you causing us any problems, so I don't see a problem here.
We would approve. And I would second that.
Dated and I also have a utility permit from Farmers Cooperative Telephone Company out of Dicer. And from about the Wolf Creek Bridge, north of Dicer, south all the way to 66th Street and east to about 14th Avenue. So it encompasses parts of Bruce, Monroe, and Homer Township, putting new fiber lines into the residents in their exchange area.
Make a motion that we approve that utility permit for Farmers Co-op.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. In connection with that bridge that we were just talking about, start with when I walked in here, we did need some additional right of way for the property there. On the north side of that bridge in section 25, same Cedar Township, I think. So we're talking about pipeline. There's a Sean and Samantha Hunter. Their own property on the north side. Actually, there were fairly small slivers that we needed, both permanent, temporary easement wise, that we actually measured them in square feet this time. 7 feet by, I remember this one, looked at it against one, but permanent easement for Sean and Samantha, 7 feet by 45.85 feet. The temporary, that would just be impacted while construction's going on is, 17 feet by 115 feet, 320 square feet is what the permanent easement was impacted, 1,650 square feet for the temporary easement. $260 for the permanent easement, $100 for the temporary easement. all of these properties actually have a fence line on them. That's gonna be the biggest cost we have on this project is replacing the fence line. 700 feet for doing fencing on that project for that property owner. So 1,060 feet total for transaction to Sean and Samantha Hunter for this project too.
$1,060.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't know what I said. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you're cool.
I have purchase agreements here for approval, signature, and notarization. Is that something you can do? Or meeting that you come with here? Okay.
But I do have it.
I'll make a motion that we do the fencing, the temporary and permanent easements, total $1,060.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Other property owners, however you want to say that, affected on the project happen to be Marilyn R. O'Connor, your personal trust, and Gary Demmel testimonial trust. But both Marilyn O'Connor and Patrick O'Connor live outside of, our trustees on those trusts, live off state, so there's a lot of frequently process. They're on local ordinance outside of the project. On the north side, similar situation, you got 7 feet wide by, in their case, 265 feet. Permanent easement, the temporary easements, not shaped because of the creek. We're talking 1,850 square feet if you want to talk areas, type of permanent easements. The temporary easements, 11,230 square feet, so by a quarter of an acre. $335 for the permanent easement, $115 for the temporary easement, $1,375 for fencing and landscaping area. Total on the north side of the bridge for Patrick and Marilyn O'Connor would be $1,825. The Lightweights on O'Connor, yep. O''C''O''N''N''O''R. And purchase agreement for the north side of the Village Trust. That's the north side.
Need a motion to approve that O'Connor Trust for $1,825.
Second. All in favor?
Temporary fencing.
Aye. South side of the road, same trust, same individuals. Got 17 feet by 310 feet as a permanent easement. You get square feet here. Temporary easement, kind of an odd-shaped pentagon, actually. Actually, two odd-shaped trapezoids. Permanent easement, 5,270 square feet, so about, what, yes, $950. Temporary easement, about the same as the other one, 11,230 square feet, so about a quarter of an acre, $115. Fencing for this real odd-shaped activity, $1,900. So the total of the south side of the road is going to be $2,965.
Is this also the O'Connor Trust?
Yes.
Then you had a demo trust in there somewhere.
The demo trust is, Marilyn O'Connor is the trustee of the Gary Demo Test
okay.
Trust.
Okay.
And Patrick O'Connor is the trustee of the Marilyn O'Connor Revocable Trust. So
That's how we got it.
that's how we got Patrick and Marilyn O'Connor. It's listed that way in the plat book at the moment, but they're actually two separate trusts. Family, O'Connor family.
Your motion for that for $2,965 for the south side with O'Connor Trust.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
When are we gonna blacktop that county road? It's coming up pretty soon, isn't it? Get these bridges replaced.
The rock portion from,
Talking the Lewis Bottom Road or the County Home Road?
Well, both of them really, I seem to be open at the same
I
time.
think next summer, sure. County Home, isn't
short of trying to remember all of the future projects, but yes, I'd say, know that on the Oak Grove extension project, so to speak, as it's been called for years, all of the bridges have been replaced. Bridges and box culverts and pipe have been replaced, minus one, just short of the county line. It's due to under contract, getting contractors planning and starting on 1st of August next month to replace that one, which one will have all of the structures addressed and released. Related somewhat to that bridge project as well as the, I think, the 150 roundabout project that's going on outside of Vanna. You had a resident from 61st Street Lane last Tuesday expressing increased traffic on 61st Street Lane and had asked you about a temporary speed limit, particularly by those 5 or 6 houses in that first half mile from 32nd Street east to just past what would be
Oak Grove Church, near 61st Street.
everything proper on south side and Helen Anderson's property. That driveway, there's a Carrie Ralph, not Carrie Ralph, Carl, and his last name and owns it on the north side. Two driveways across each other. I think it's think it was 2,300 feet from 32nd Avenue to that driveway, so about a half mile. They have,
And this has to do with the roundabout area, 61st Street South.
61st Street Lane,
There you go.
between, well, right now with the roundabout not having access from 150 at sunset, how many people have figured out just going a mile north to the interstate interchange will get you on the interstate pretty quickly, you get to Center Point. But from Center Point to Benton, running that route is getting heavier use. Certainly with the bridge project being closed, it will change things, but a resident had asked you, I think, about a speed limit temporarily through both of the completion of the roundabout project and the bridge replacement project. I fully anticipate the roundabout project taking longer than our bridge project, so rather than stating both those in a proposed language resolution, I just mentioned opening the roundabout on 150, but 35 miles an hour is what I was told was discussed on 61st Street Lane from 32nd Avenue East, approximately a half mile. If that is what you wish to do, I do have a resolution in hand that would do that.
So moved. And I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution.
Red River, aye.
Understand, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Short of getting some locates for some posts in the ground, we'll get that signed. Signed as in post on, posts in the ground.
Did we lose a mechanic?
Yes.
And we start an action to replace that mechanic?
So,
Benton County Supervisors.
Hey there, yes, I was trying to reach our Chair Primer. I don't know if you have an office in your offices though.
Yes, he is.
Okay, wonderful.
I'll hand him the phone.
Okay, great.
This is Rick Trevor, but I'm not the chairperson.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate chatting with you. Anyway, my name is Dominic Frangula. I'm calling on behalf of Waterloo City Council Member Jonathan Greeter. He had sent you a message, I think on June 15th, inviting you to sign on a letter with elected officials around the country calling
Okay.
for a federal
We're currently in a board meeting.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I did get that email, okay? So I sure did, but I'm not the chairperson, so.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's for any elected official to sign on, so
Sure.
if there was something of interest, we'd love for you to sign on.
I'll redo
Bump
that.
up.
Okay. All right.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Take care.
Not that I passed the buck or anything, you know.
to answer your question, yes, kind of slowly, indirectly, it just coincidentally happened to have two prospective applicants stop by unexpectedly here in the last 10 days for that type of position.
Okay. You know, hire more than one?
Yeah, probably.
Good. Good. Sounds good. Okay.
Other than that, I don't have anything for you today.
You started much on that bridge west of Newhall and that dirt road?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
Ordered some pipe last week.
Cool. Cool.
Thank you, Myron.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Okay.
I'll take a a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
So moved.
Oh, I thought you might want to extend it. I'll second that.
All right, all in